And oh my goodness, I hope you didn't have to suffer through that embarrassing loss too long last night. But another check in the L column for the Los Angeles Lakers. Welcome into this edition of the Lakers Report. I am your host, Jake Riepma. Happy to have you. And no matter how bad it gets in Los Angeles surrounding the purple and gold, we have each other. We got to stick together. It's all we can tell each other at this point, because the Lakers are now losers of two straight after being blown out in Atlanta. Now, it was the second night of a back-to-back, but with the loss, they dipped back below that 500 mark and are 24-25. And sometimes when things aren't going well and LeBron James does LeBron James things, it's cryptic tweet season. I didn't think we were quite at that point, but oh yes, LeBron James taking to the X machine to leave us all wondering, what did he mean by this tweet? It is the hourglass. Could he be suggesting that maybe his days in Los Angeles are numbered? Could he be suggesting something else? Whatever it is, obviously, LeBron, King James, not particularly happy. And so right away, I got to hear from you. Let me know down in the comments and be honest, because maybe this is a look in the mirror moment for me, for you, for every Los Angeles Lakers fan. You think LeBron wants out of LA? It's real simple. Type Y for yes or N for no. Again, it's a cryptic tweet. It's an hourglass. We're going to get into some of his quotes, but I think personally, he's frustrated. It was the second night of a back-to-back losses. The team's not playing well, and sometimes you go to X. That's what the platform's there for, I suppose. And so I'm trying not to put too much stock into it. So let's see what LeBron had to say for himself, saying after the game, quote, "We could, on any given night, beat any team in the NBA, and then on any given night, we can get our ass kicked by any team in the NBA. What's our record? Under 500 at 24-25. That's what we are." And you know what? LeBron, say what you will about the GOAT, but LeBron sometimes tries to send messages with his comments, as I believe a lot of star players do. But he could be sending to the front office, hey, this is the team that we are. We're under 500, and maybe we need some help at the trade deadline. But either way, I'm starting to sound the panic meter, and the panic meter is really at the very top for me. But I want to hear from you. Let me know down in the comments, what's your panic level with this Lakers team right now? Because, again, things are not going well. I don't know how else to phrase it. This basketball team is not gelling. Darvin Ham is not getting the most out of them. LeBron is upset, but let me know down in the comments, what's your panic level with this team? Scale it for me, 1 through 10. And again, I think it's okay to panic because there's enough of a sample size. There's been enough basketball played. We've seen enough from this Lakers team to be concerned, to sound that panic meter, and in fact to wonder if this team has what it takes to make any kind of run in the postseason. Now, we've heard from LeBron James. We'll hear from the head coach, Darvin Ham, coming up next. But first, I got to tell you about today's proud presenting sponsor, PrizePicks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And it's real simple. You simply pick more or less on a player's projected stat line, and that's what adds a little more sizzle to each and every game. And it's already, well, lately it hasn't been too fun watching Lakers basketball, but when you got PrizePicks on the line, there's one more thing to watch for instead of watching our team lose time and time again. And PrizePicks makes it super fun and creative with some of their new pick options, like the Demons and Goblins. Demons are a little bit more challenging picks and less likely to come true. The Goblins a little bit of a more safer pick and more likely to come through. But either way, you got to see for yourself at prizepicks.com/CLNS. That's where we're offering up to a $100 deposit match for being a Lakers fan and a fan of the Lakers Report. prizepicks.com/CLNS. We'll put the link right in the comments and the description of today's video. It's prizepicks.com/CLNS for up to a $100 deposit match. Now, Darvin Ham, whether you like it or not, whether you believe in him or you don't, he's the head coach of this ball team. there is a high level of responsibility that comes with being the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers and managing egos, managing star players, and weathering through the storms that may arise throughout the course of an NBA season. And I think the Lakers are in the midst of one of those said storms. And I like what Darvin Ham had to say after the game and after the loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, saying, quote, "We got to look ourselves in the mirror and man the hell up." So it will be more of that, but also looking at it with clear eyes on how we can turn this thing around and not make those same mistakes that eventually hurt us, those self-inflicted wounds. That's after the loss to the Atlanta Hawks, and I agree with Darvin Ham. You got to man the hell up, but some of that falls squarely on the shoulders of the head coach. Can he get this team to, in his words, man the hell up and play better basketball? A lot of people really aren't believing in Darvin Ham, and I don't necessarily blame them for that because, again, you look at the record, and you are what your record says. So I ask you this question, and let me know down in the comments. Do you want Darvin Ham to be fired? If so, go ahead and type F for fired or K for keep him around. I don't think the Lakers will fire him in the middle of this season, but suggesting that his days in LA might be numbered, I don't think you'd get much of an argument from anybody because the fact of the matter is this roster was comprised in a win-now mindset, and Darvin Ham just hasn't been able to get the Lakers to that mentality of being able to win now. So I have my doubts about Darvin Ham, and as the season continues to progress, we'll see how it all plays out and if Darvin Ham needs to be sent packing. Now, what do we say each and every Lakers report? Well, it's trade deadline season. That means it's trade rumor season. So things are fluid. They're liquid. They're constantly changing, constantly moving. And you look at the body of work from the Lakers in the month of January. They're 6-7. Over that span, they're reportedly still evaluating trade options for DeJounte Murray. That's the big name trade candidate that's on a lot of teams' big boards to trade for, including the Lakers. And they've been linked to him a couple of different times, but it's seemingly less and less likely that a deal will get done because one of the major potential pieces in that trade is D'Angelo Russell, and he didn't really do himself any favors last night. More on that in a moment, but here's what ESPN insider Brian Windhorst had to say about the most recent and up-to-date status check on the Los Angeles Lakers. You have to have a team that's underachieving beyond LeBron and AD, and after that, it's hard to trade pieces that are underachieving, simply suggesting D'Angelo Russell might be that guy. The Lakers have shown a willingness to trade that first-round pick in 2029, but they still haven't been able to close a deal because there's not a lot of excitement about D'Angelo Russell. I think that's the key takeaway from this. And like I mentioned, D'Angelo Russell didn't really do himself any favors last night. Really laid an egg against the Hawks. Just 9 points, 5 assists, and 1 rebound, and worse than that, just 3 of 11 from the floor. Had the 2 turnovers as well. And to add a little insult to injury, throw salt in the wound, whatever cliche you want to use, Hawks fans were chanting at D'Angelo Russell, and this is tough, but such is life in the National Basketball Association, I suppose. They were chanting, "We don't want you," which is kind of mean-spirited. Relax a little bit, Hawks fans. You guys don't really have a lot of room to talk. You don't really have a prestigious history or anything like that, but that's beside the point. You get the point that Hawks fans aren't really interested in bringing D'Angelo Russell to LA. So, given his poor performance against the Hawks, he had been playing pretty well in the month of January. I wonder if there will be anybody interested in D'Angelo Russell, if he'll be the main piece moved in a big deal, or if we'll have to wait and see. But according to Brian Windhorst, he doesn't expect D'Angelo Russell to be involved in the trade talks. But one thing we can promise you is when the Lakers make a trade, or if they make a trade, whatever happens around the purple and gold, we'll have you covered from every single angle. That's why you want to stay locked in, and we got to get to that 53,000 subscriber mark. I believe we can do it. Shout out to all of you who have recently subscribed because, look, we're bringing you daily Lakers content. We're covering the Lakers like nobody else will, whether it's trade rumors, LeBron cryptic tweets, Darvin Ham, hot seat rumors, whatever it is, we've got you covered. That is why you subscribe. Hey, big shout out to my producer today, Trace Gerard on the ones and twos. Couldn't do the Lakers report without him. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Lakers Report.